it's Teacher Kelly from Side by Side Preschool, and I am happy that you came to join me today. Do you like my train conductor hat? Pretty neat, huh? I can't wait to show you what we have for you today. But before we start, let's sing hello to everyone who came. Pat with me. Hello, everybody. So glad to see you. Hello, everybody. So glad to see you. Hello to all my friends. So glad to see you. Hello, everybody. We're so glad to see you. It's the mystery box sound. Let's sing our mystery box song. What's in the mystery box? What's in the mystery box? Get your minds ready for mystery box. A mystery is something we don't know, but we figure it out using clues. Time for clue number one. Clue number one is, it sounds like this. Do you know what sounds like that? Time for clue number two. Clue number two is, you find it outside. What do you think it is? Let's find out. Oh, I bet you guessed right. Woo, woo! It's a train. Do any of you have trains at your house? I know some of you do. And you maybe even have a train engine and the train cars that connect to it. You guys, I have a new friend. His name is Steve-O, and he is a real life train conductor and a train engineer. I learned that those are two different jobs. Pretty neato. Do you know what he did? He said, hey, Teacher Kelly, do you want to come see a real train with me? And I said, yes! And so I got to go with my buddy Steve-O to see a real life train and to find out, what do trains do all day? Do you want to come? Let's go see Steve-O's train.
So here we are in the cab of an SW1 locomotive. It's a switching locomotive that was built by EMD, owned by General Motors for a long time, built in 1940, so it's even older than World War II. It's a diesel-electric locomotive, meaning that there's a diesel engine up here that makes a lot of noise, but that actually produces electricity that powers electric motors on each of the four axles. Here's the electrical compartment, which when the engineer fires things up, he'll flip that knife switch up to engage the electrical system. He'll push a button over here to start the motor turning, and you'll hear it firing up. Other things that we have here in the cab are the independent brake, which controls the brakes on just the locomotive. The automatic brake handle, which controls the brakes for the whole train, all the cars trailing behind us. There's a reverser up here, it's called, which is used to change directions. And the throttle, which as you pull on it, makes you go faster or slower. This handle here, or this wheel here, is not a steering wheel, it's a handbrake. So you tie this up or spin the brake when you're stopping for good for the night, and you untie it or spin it the other way at the end of the day when you're ready to start going. Engineer sits in this seat. The conductor sits in that seat. Well, at least when when the conductor is riding with the train. Sometimes they might be up front or even riding one of the rear cars. You'll probably see that later today. So these are the batteries that are used to power up the locomotive in the first place. Once it starts running, the diesel generator provides all the electricity that's needed. And there's another set of batteries over here underneath that seat. Up on the very top of the cab, you see a 3-chime horn. That's the horn. It used to be called a whistle in the steam days when it was operated with steam coming out of the locomotive. This is operated with compressed air. The other funny looking thing up there is the smokestack. And actually that's the spark arrestor arrangement on the smokestack. That's used to help pull any sparks out of the exhaust so they don't set a fire along the track, which actually has happened on a few occasions. This is a coupler, and that's what is used to couple up to other cars that we pick up or set out. This knuckle closes when they get joined together, and if it gets opened up, we want to separate from other cars. Here you see a pair of ditch lights. That gives additional light down at ground level when you're traveling at night, in addition to the headlight, which is up there and is better for long distance viewing. Through that grating there, you can see a couple of fans, and those are used for cooling the engine. You don't want the engine to overheat, so those will be turning, blowing air through there. Underneath that box up there are more sand boxes used to squirt sand out under the wheels to give you additional traction.
How cool was that field trip? Steve-O, thank you so much for taking us to the Ballard train. I learned so much, and I think you guys did too. We learned what an engine looks like. We learned what it looks like inside and all the buttons and the levers they pull and push to stop and start the train. We learned where they sit. We learned what the lights look like and the horns. And we saw the batteries. Did you know a train could run on batteries and electricity? I didn't know that. One of the coolest things we learned is how a train connects to another train car, and they pull it down the track. At Preschool, we like to take what we learned on a field trip and bring it back to the classroom and turn it into play. Our friend Steve-O has done something so amazing at his house, and I think it will inspire our train play today. He made a train in his house that goes all around our room. And it's not just any train, it's the same train we saw in our field trip. And there's buildings and train cars and people. I cannot wait to show you. Here it is. Okay, preschool friends, my challenge for you today is to think about how you are going to play trains at your house today. Maybe you have some Legos at home and you want to connect them together and make a train. Maybe you have some blocks at home and you want to build a train. Maybe you want to be inside the train. You could take a pillowcase or a blanket and lay it on the ground and sit on the different train cars. Maybe you, your stuffed animals, your brother, your sister, or whoever lives with you. Maybe you want to play trains with some blankets on the ground. Or maybe you want to use a pillow. I can't wait to see how you play trains today. Your imagination can think of anything. I can't wait to see where it takes you today. Have such a great day, friends. I'll see you next time. Fist bump.